I mean, yeah, I started with classical music when I was a kid, so that was kind of what I was up to, playing and singing and stuff. And then when we moved back to Canada, my family moved back to Canada, I fell in with a group of people who were making pop music, rock music, a bit of noise music as well. And nobody cared about any of the music I liked at all. But I started really giving a shit about what they were listening to, what they liked. You know, you go around to friends' places playing a record, it's like, what's that? And they'd be like, it's called New Order. I was like, oh, those guys sound pretty good. And so it was a kind of slow process of falling in love with the music those people liked, and then starting to make my own way into loving it myself. And I had no idea I was going to write a pop record until I did. That was kind of a little bit of an accident right there. Yeah, so those were the friends I kind of made, and they were also playing their own shows, you know, and everybody would go and have a great time, and there was all of this applause and cheering, and people go, man, I love that song. And I was like, maybe I want to write a song where people are like, man, I love that song. That'd be fun. And then it took me a while to actually do it, but yeah, that was definitely where that all started, with those guys. Because I'm still working out my way through this pop music world, I don't really know what the genres mean or the things. So I don't really know what chamber pop means. If that's the closest descriptor people can find, then I guess it's cool. It's pop music. It's straight up pop music, and then it takes some weird twists and turns into the classical world. I don't know if I would describe it as chamber pop. I just describe it as some nice tunes, hopefully, that people will like. We'll see. The thing I really like about humor, and there are a number of people who've spoken more eloquently about this than I ever will, so I'll probably just paraphrase them. I mean, a couple of things. One is, someone said you can't be afraid when you're laughing. And that's you know, homophobia is a fear, it's a phobia. And the idea that if these stories are funny, then they mean that they can also engage an audience that might otherwise not listen to this music or turn away from it immediately. The other thing that I think personally about humor is, it opens people up. And as soon as they're open, you can land a pretty heavy emotional punch with the serious stuff, because they're open, they're ready, they're waiting. And that means, hopefully, if we've done this right, the more serious or deeper side of the record will come through as well, both lyrically and musically. For me, it wasn't really about utopia or dystopia or anything like that. It was about just showing lives as they are led, and they just happen to be gay lives in this particular instance. So it's not supposed to be didactic. It's not about telling you what to think or what to do. It's just putting lives out there, you know, daily lived lives. Every single song is something that's happening right now in Germany or in America or whatever, literally at this very moment. So there's nothing kind of crazily outside the box there. It's not really a call to action for me personally. I just wanted to describe those lives, and if people engage with them as human lives, then theoretically they also engage with them with a certain amount of empathy and understanding that they might not otherwise have for lives lived differently from their own. We're looking for album artwork, obviously, and I sometimes think a little too big. But we were aiming for this guy called Norbert Bisky, who does some great artwork and is a queer artist living in Berlin. I mean, he's an artist, but his subject matter tends to be queer. And thought it might be nice to have him do the cover artwork, and managed to both get his contact and then go to a gallery opening where he was in attendance, and met the guy, and he listened to the record. And then apparently liked the record and said, "Come on over. We'll find some suitable artwork from my back catalog to put on the front of that record there." Like, I don't even know. I gotta be honest. I'm not really sure what a dandy is. I think, like, I don't know. I can't remember. Like, Oscar Wilde was definitely a dandy with like the little thing and the nice suits and stuff. And I like wearing suits on stage because you know, I like looking fancy for the people. That's nice. I'm not, if someone's going to call me a dandy, I'm probably not going to complain too much. I think it's nice. I think that's a nice thing, but I'm not a self-described dandy, no. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, it's pretty much the whole deal. It's the whole thing. When we talked about like Edmonton in Canada and like meeting that group of people, like we're still friends. They still inspire me. Same thing with the friends I have here, whether it be Zoran, who's Sergio, or Max, or Wallace. Like those are people who are the main reason I kind of get up and do what I do every day. So yeah, deeply important. And I wouldn't be making any of this if it wasn't for the people I'd met along the way and got to know. So I'd say, yeah, sum total of friendship is the whole thing, yeah.